Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Beer is Tasty. My name is Chris.
Brian.
And Beer is Tasty is the show done by two guys, love them some beer, and decided let's get together, make a show that talks about beer.
We just basically drink a beer. We try it with some food. We put both in our mouth at the same time. We swish it around.
Tell you the
and
results.
We tell you if it sucks or not.
And
it's pretty great.
we thought this week we should get down with, tell everybody about this beer here, Brian.
Well, we got what here is the Lagunitas Imperial Red Ale from Petaluma, California in Sonoma County. Coincidentally, where my family comes from.
Interesting.
So we're going to give this one a whirl as well.
And we decided, since we felt like being fancy, since it's from a special place in Brian's heart, we'd kick it up this week and we'd pair it with cornbread. Now, this cornbread I just made a little bit ago. It's fresh. It's still warm.
Oh! Pop this sucker open and up comes the foam.
There you go. Now, this cornbread is nothing that fancy, so I'll just show you the box. I bought it in the store. You know, we're always trying to do the budget things these days with the economy the way it is. So I think this was like $3. And for guys, it's super easy because all it takes is...
For guys.
You know, I got some skills on the grill, but in the oven, not my strong suit.
If you're not a woman, it's hard to cook cornbread, so...
It takes an egg and a cup of milk. That's all you gotta do.
And it smells delicious. So
it does smell. I'm really excited
roll with
about
that. All right, so we're gonna do a quick little pour here, and we're gonna see how this guy goes. And of course, and it gets a nice big head going on there. You want to pour yourself a little beer.
All right.
And of course, I poured it and just basically dumped it down the middle, and now we got a whole big old head of foam sitting on top.
Boy, I love the color of it. Love the color.
Ooh, it has a good smell too.
Does it?
Has a good, nice, rich,
oh yeah,
nice, rich red ale smell. It's got a little carameliness to it. All right, so let's see if you can get a
the
good.
head has a lot of caramel color to it.
Good peek here as to. Come on, camera. There you go. Auto-focusing. Yeah, you notice that it's got a good look to it.
Now,
it's
what I wonder.
A good, clean red look.
What I wonder. I don't know if the caramel color of the head will show up in the camera, but it's got kind of a caramel tinge to it.
It does.
And so this. Did we already say it's 7.2% alcohol?
We have not, so it's a little higher than your normal
And I like
beer.
that on the bottle they put, it's got an 84.2 IBU, which is the bitterness unit, so which is kind of interesting.
And typically I like my beers a little hoppier, a little more bitter, a little higher IBU. That's more my thing. And honestly, this is kind of tasty. I like this.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of bitterness to it. It's got, are you getting a lot of hops in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am indeed. Very
a lot
hoppy.
of fruit. There's a lot of fruit in there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of flavors going on in this beer.
Yeah.
It's not a simple beer.
All right, I'm going to put a little butter. The butter's still a little firm.
As a general rule of thumb, the simpler beer you've got, usually the easier it goes with most kinds of food. So if you want to have a real simple beer, you get your basic lager.
You've got a wide variety of foods.
You can eat it with pasta, with burgers, with barbecue, with just about anything important. Now, pizza. Now, something more like this, it's not quite as rich and powerful as like a stout or a heavy porter. So it's going to go with most things, but I'd be careful what you pair this with.
The beer is, depending on the complexity, it's sometimes less of an experience, but at the same time it goes with more types of foods.
Yeah.
So, but this actually, you know, I think it's walking that line because it's got a lot of fruit in it. So that fruity flavor might not always be okay. But you know what, with some greasy foods it would go pretty good.
This would cut the grease really well. It's got some distinct bite to it. It's not too sweet. It's got a lot of fruity overtones, but it's not real sweet. It's
I've got some buttered and unbuttered fresh cornbread here for you.
Is it a little slice for me over here?
Yeah, help yourself. I'm going to go with some butter, and we'll just see. I'll eat this guy, and then I'll try it with some beer, and we'll see how they go together.
It's not bad cornbread. I mean, for cornbread from a box, it's all right.
It's not amazing, but
it'll do the job. Okay.
It took 2 minutes to mix, and then it took 20 minutes to cook. It's great for that.
Oh, those actually go really well together.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this beer would definitely not be the right kind of beer. Don't pair this up with some pasta. I wouldn't pair this up with fish.
No.
But honestly, a little bit of barbecue and some cornbread, this would go really good with like a big slab of ribs or something.
Pork ribs specifically, because you know how sometimes you can get apple pork ribs and things like that. You get that with this, and you've really got a killer combo.
Yeah.
You mix it up with the cornbread. Well, that's just a great meal to begin. I mean, that's just right there. You're doing a great job.
I could just go with the cornbread and the beer and just call it, actually.
Exactly. And so this does go great because the cornbread's nice and mellow. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it because it's a honey cornbread. You pair it with this bad boy.
Oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
This is all right, this beer's growing on me.
And you know what else?
That's not bad.
For a 7.2, you know, you're not getting bit by the alcohol.
Right, but it's still higher. I mean, a lot of the beers out there, you get, you know, the light pilsners, like the Bud Lights and the Coors Lights. Those are, but you're going to go between 4 and 4.5%.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to get you drunk fast enough.
But this guy here, he's a 7.2, and
it's going to give you a little bit of a kick.
I wouldn't have been able to tell you that it was stronger than like one of those.
It does taste a little stronger than a Coors.
Oh yeah, But a Coors and a Budweiser are weaker. But if you gave me similar beers that were maybe around the 5 range, that were like decent beers,
yeah,
I don't think you could tell the difference.
No, it has a feel like it's similar to like a Guinness or something in alcoholness.
Yeah.
Alcoholness. I don't even think that's a word, but I'm going to go with alcoholness as a word.
It is today. You know, once you put something on the internet,
alcoholness.
Once you put something on the internet, it's real.
What I really would like to see is after this is posted, if you could go to wikipedia.org and add in the phrase alcoholness.
Don't abuse the Wikipedia.
And feel free to reference this show so that there's a reference to it.
You know what else?
Oh, that's really flavory.
With the butter
really
too, like with the oily butter, just wipes that tongue.
It really does. It's very clean.
Oh man,
while
that's
being
good.
Rich. It's very, very bitter. It's very hoppy. If you're not a beer person, you are not going to like this beer. But if you are a beer person, this is freaking good. This straddles the line really nicely between the Pilsner and lager people and the heavier, richer ale, and stout kind of people. I think pretty much anyone's going to drink this and go, hey, that's a pretty decent beer, regardless of your taste.
I wonder how available this is. Now, we're up in Washington, and this came from Petaluma, California.
So it's got to be available on the west coast of the U.S. We actually picked this up in a pack.
In a pack, yeah. In a grocery store, like a Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Kinda
take a look at that bottle here.
Pack.
Yeah, it's very good. Lagunitas. Very, very good.
I mean, Petaluma's known for wine, or at least that region is.
Yep. The general valley there in Petaluma is definitely known for wine.
For its wine and its Leo Laportes.
and it's Leo Laportes, and it's fantastic Italian restaurants.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Petaluma, check out Volpe's restaurant. Fantastic, run by my family down there.
There you have it.
Good Italian food. They got good beers in there too. There's also a bar in the back, so you can get drunk after you're done eating. But this beer, fantastic.
Yeah, I like it.
On the grade school rating scale, because I like to rate beer just like I like to rate kindergartners, and I would like to say this gets an A-.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's a very quality beer. It's not the best beer, but it's really, really close to finding its way into a top 10 list. It's very good.
It's got a lot of hidden flavors actually after it sits on your tongue for a minute. So I agree, A-. It's definitely a great beer to go with barbecue and things like that. You're not going to go wrong. Plus, I like their slogan. You know, did you notice their slogan here on the bottle? Life is uncertain, don't sip.
Now this actually reminds me a great deal of the Imperial, the Red Menace Imperial Ale that we reviewed that quite a few episodes back. There's something about a good red ale that's giving me the burps right now. But just the same, a well-done red ale really is just kind of like the king of well-rounded beers. I love it.
I think when I first drink this, I get fruity hops. And then after I'm swallowed, I get a malty flavor. Yeah, and that's tasty.
The foam and the head on it has an entirely different flavor than the beer itself.
It's kind of creamy too.
Yeah, it's got a creamy thing going on.
All right, so yeah, we're both giving it A-.
A-, highly recommended. Lagunitas Red Ale, very, very good.
There you have it. So okay, if you would like to recommend a beer, a lot of you have asked, guys, how can I send you a beer? Well, we're not quite there yet.
Plus, it's kind of weird when you send people perishable food in the mail.
Right.
I don't know. When you go to the post office, they're like, does this have beer in it? I don't know if they ask you that, but they always ask me that no matter what I send.
That's because you always show up drunk.
So, but if you have recommendations on which beers and where to get them, we are all ears.
And if there's a specific beer that you really, really, really want us to try, the best way to do that is if you go over to jupiterbroadcasting.com. On the top right-hand area, there is like a donate button. And what you could do is you could just send us, instead of buying and mailing us the beer, save yourself the postage and all that kind of stuff. Yep. donate us the dollar amount of the beer, and in the donation notes,
tell us what beer.
Tell us what beer it's for, and then we'll go find that beer, and we'll use that cash to buy that beer.
It's beautiful.
There you have it.
It's beautiful.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Beer is Tasty. Tune in next week. We got a couple of extra crazy beers that we're working on that I think one of them I think maybe is not going to go so well. So you'll definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, I'm guessing not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put it in my mouth anyway.
But until next time, cheers.
Nice.
There you have it. Right?
Nice.